Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is the Kodiak Defense WK181C-Z. Just as a full disclosure, before we get started in this video review, Kodiak Defense did send me this rifle. I have no relation with Kodiak Defense. They didn't pay me to do this review, and I don't make any sort of commissions on sales as a result of this review. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. This rifle is chambered in 7.62 by 39. It has an 18.7 inch length barrel, and it comes with a Magpul Zhukov folding stock, a Magpul grip, and it also comes with a Magpul PMag magazine. So one of the first things that I noticed on this rifle when I took it out of the box was that it doesn't have your typical birdcage flash suppressor. This flash suppressor muzzle brake is multi-ported, and it's actually an AR-10 muzzle brake made from high quality steel. So I actually had to go online and do a little bit of research just to figure out what kind of muzzle brake it was, because even some of the other ones that I've seen online of this rifle, it does have your bird cage. So I'm not sure if you might get one with a bird cage or if you might get one of these multi-ported flash suppressors, but I thought that was interesting. It is solid on the bottom, and the purpose of that is that so if you're shooting from the prone, you're not going to get a bunch of dust kicking up off the ground. It has a full length Picatinny rail on top, and the handguard has M-LOK attachment points. So I'm a huge fan of this handguard. I really like the design of it. It's super simple, nothing fancy going on. You don't have these weird cutouts and angled holes and all of that sort of thing. It's just M-LOK attachment points, that's it. This is going to allow you to customize this rifle to its limits, and it's also going to allow the handguard and the barrel to cool down much faster. So this is just, in my opinion, a great design, and it looks similar to the SR-15, SR-16 by Knights Armament. You can put your vertical or angled grip on the bottom here, or if you're hunting with this rifle, you can attach a bipod. You can attach a flashlight on the side here. I did have one on here prior to doing this video. I had a Fenix TK20R flashlight. So I had that on the side here with the pressure switch. It's a full length handguard as well. It almost goes to the end of the barrel. And what I like about that is that, me personally, I like to do a C grip on the end here. And when I had the flashlight on the side here, I was still able to get my hand halfway up the barrel, which is great just for accuracy. So I really like the handguard on this rifle. Just super simple, nothing fancy, great design. Moving on to the receiver. The receiver is made out of 6061 aluminum, and the machining is just awesome on this. I don't know if you've seen the Gen 1 version of this rifle, but it looked very boxy. But with the Gen 2, the lines are very nice, and you can put your beaver tail AR-15 grips on here as well. The charging handle is on the left side here, and it's not ambidextrous. So I guess you could say that that's one of the cons of this rifle, is that it's not ambidextrous. As far as the charging handle goes, it is fixed on the left side of the rifle. And it has AR-15 cross pins, AR-15 trigger, AR-15 grips, and AR-15 selector switch. The selector switch as well is ambidextrous, so it's on both sides. And on the right side here, they actually carved out a groove, but on the left-hand side, it's just your normal safety selector. Moving on to the charging handle. I'm a big fan of this charging handle. It feels nice on the finger, and it's very beefy, so it doesn't hurt the finger at all. It's got these little bevels on the side here. So when you pull on it, it's not, it's easy to get as well. So when you have the rifle up, it's so easy to just grab onto. It doesn't hurt at all. And I'm a big fan of this charging handle. Right here we have the bolt catch. So you pull the charging handle back, press down on the bolt catch, and keeps the bolt in place. And then you just flick up and it releases the bolt. So I personally prefer the AR-15 style bolt catch and bolt release, but this one's not too bad. Right here we have the mag release. So you take your mag, and I found that you have to get a good angle here in order to seat this tab in the mag well. So you get a good angle on it right here, pull back and it locks in place. The mag release engages it well, it holds it in place, and I've had no issues with seating the magazine. But at first, if you don't get that angle, I personally found that when I'm reloading, you just really exaggerate the angle that you have to do. So sit it up here, rock it back, and you're good to go. The other thing to mention is that with AK mags, whenever you go empty on a magazine, the bolt will not lock in the rear position. So it's gonna lock forward. So whenever you run out of ammo, the bolt will not lock in the rear. So with the AR-15, you could remove the mag, put in the mag, hit the bolt release, and then it rechambers around. But with this rifle, you have to reload with a fresh magazine and then rechamber. So right there, you've seen that it went forward. If this was an empty magazine on an AR-15, the bolt wouldn't go forward. But with AK mags, it doesn't matter. It's just gonna keep going forward even on an empty magazine. So as you can see, I removed the magazine and weapon's empty. It has AR-15 cross pins, and the cross pins stay in place on the lower receiver, so you don't have to worry about them getting misplaced or anything like that. Let me just... Actually, let's keep that one there. So to remove the bolt, you just remove the back crosspin here, and then you have to push down on, I don't know what this is called, but this little tab up here, which holds the, this is actually held in place as well. Even with the lower crosspin removed, it's still held in place. So you have to push on this little tab and then lower it, and then slowly remove the bolt. Okay, so this is the bolt, and this is pretty beefy to what I'm typically used to. I did notice that, I don't know what you call these, but the teeth here on the bolt head, the angle in here is pretty sharp. So I don't know if down the road they might break off after 1,000 rounds, 2,000 rounds, 5,000 rounds, if these will start to break away. But yeah, I don't know if they could have maybe added a little bit of an angle in there. But other than that, no problems with the bolt. Here we go. So then to put the bolt back in, slide the bolt in with the bolt head all the way out, and then push these coil springs in. Make sure you keep pressure on this little tab, and then after you connect the lower receiver to the upper, then you can let go of that little tab, and it's now it's locked in place, and you just push on this cross pin and you're good to go. This rifle comes with the folding Zhukov stock made by Magpul, and it has 5 lengths of pull, so you can have it extended all the way out or collapse all the way in, and then I think there's 5 lengths of pull on this, so you can adjust it accordingly. It also has a QD point here, so if you want to attach your QD points, you can do so on the back here. And I think you can also attach a QD point here, but I haven't tried that. I just have the like a piece of 1-inch webbing here, 1¼ inch webbing, and on the front I just have a piece of paracord here attached. So but that option's there for you if you want to attach your QD points on the back. There's no QD points along the handguard, but you can get them out there. They're QD points for M-LOK rails, so you can just attach your QD point here on the M-LOK portion, and then you know, you can have like your single point sling, or you could have a 2-point sling or whatever. On the top here, for those of you who are wondering, I just have the Scorpion Optics LPVO. It's a 1:4 illuminated reticle, as well as their extension mount. So I really like this optic. Even during like the brightest days, if I have the reticle illuminated at its highest setting, it's very visible. So great optic for sure. I don't have a ton of rounds fired through this rifle yet, but once I hit the 500 round, 1000 round count, then I'll definitely upload some more content on how well it's performing. I know that there's another guy, the hunting gear guy, and he was firing this rifle with, I think, 10,000 rounds on it, and he said that there was a few little parts that broke here and there, but nothing major. So go check his video out for sure if you haven't already. I haven't had any issues with the Picatinny Rail on here taking different optics. I've had a EOTech on here. I have the Scorpion Optics LPVO on here right now. And I've also had your traditional hunting scope on here. At the time of this video, this rifle goes for about $1,500, give or take. And if you compare that to other 7.62x39 rifles like the 10X, which goes for about, is it $2,000 now, roughly? So this rifle costs about 75% of the 10X. Reliability wise, I've had no issues with this rifle. Be sure to just double check your torque on your screw fasteners, just because after I was shooting this for a while, I actually noticed that there was a couple screws missing from the handguard here, and I was able to find them, but just make sure that you recheck all your screws on the rifle before you start shooting. I probably should have done that first. Maybe use a little bit of Loctite. And also on the safety selector switch, I found that the screw there was just getting a little bit loose. So yeah, just double check everything and verify that it's good to go before you go shooting at the range. So far I've fired Federal, Cellular and Bellet, and Norenko ammunition out of this, all non-corrosive. The warranty for this rifle states that if you do fire corrosive ammunition, that it will void the warranty. I really did want to just get this video up there to show you just the overall specs and what I liked and what I didn't like about the rifle. But I really didn't have much negative to say about this rifle. The only negative thing that I could say is that the trigger is just your typical trigger, but I mean, that's just nitpicking in my opinion. It would be nice to get a Trigger Tech trigger in this rifle, but if Kodiak Defense did that, it would just increase the price. So I think what they were going for was a reliable and affordable, fun to shoot, semi-automatic rifle, and they definitely achieved that. So this was a ton of fun to shoot, and it's just solid. So that pretty much does it for the Kodiak Defense WK181C Gen 2. Just overall, I really like this rifle. It feels so good in the hands, fires well, just a great design overall, and I've had no issues with it. So yeah, thanks for watching this review, and just be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when I upload more content. And yeah, so thanks for the support, and I'll see you next time.